Hello and welcome to English 300 Advanced College Writing. I am Mr. Ritchie. This is just a quick overview introducing you to the course and taking you through our syllabus. Here we are on the first page. Up at the top, of course, there's my university contact information. This number here is my cell phone number. I do prefer that for contacting me, please either email or text me. Just like you guys, I'm busy and constantly on the go, but if you email or text, I can always respond within an hour or so, unless it's obviously late at night. Our text, in this case, you should have a world of ideas. We are doing the readings right away. This hyperlink here will take you to various resources or, various buying options that you can get through, for example, Amazon, although you are going to need your textbook right away. Our recommended online source for citation styles, because we are going to be using multiple citation styles, is the Purdue Online Writing Lab. More on that in just a bit. This is an online class, so there is an expectation of independence, motivation. I've designed the class so that you'll find structure, consistent ongoing feedback, very smooth progress. Everything really has already been created online for us. If you are a student who struggles with academic writing, if you're someone who needs that constant ongoing support from your professor, this is probably not the best format for you. This is a class that, again, is designed for students who feel competent and are just going to go ahead and push themselves that much further to get what they need to out of the class. This is not an easy class as far as something that you can just jump into and hope for an easy grade. Think about this carefully. I have, as it notes here, I've seen far too many students fall behind and fail in a course that is not designed to meet their needs. Of course, our technology requirement is that you should be proficient with a computer. The syllabus has multiple hyperlinks. I've tried to put everything into the syllabus for you. So hopefully you are at least that proficient with computers and technology, and also the D2L site. If you are having problems accessing any of our materials, please contact me as soon as possible. Our objectives basically explain why we're doing what we're doing. So simple things like complex, sustained analyses of text. All of your essays are going to be argumentative essays. We are going to be conducting research throughout the entire semester, and integrating that research with things that we've read in class. We're demonstrating sustained reasoning, critical thinking skills, show an understanding of how form and language can be applied within a discipline. That's why we're looking at different citation styles. Academic writing conventions, appropriate to upper division work, and adapting language within those various situations. So whereas previous English classes might have taken a look at the text structure, especially in English 101, this class is going to take us back to the writer's ideas. We're going to question the premises of the text that we read. We'll speculate on how writers use evidence, compare, contrast, engage in a dialogue with these writers, and essentially try to take these classical texts that are in your textbook and attempt to apply them in a modern context. This is a short 8-week class. During those 8 weeks, we'll be writing 3 essays. So we have 2 3-week units and 1 2-week unit. There is a calendar a bit further down the syllabus that we'll take a look at here in just a bit. As far as class discussion goes, we'll have a discussion board. I'm going to go to our home page for that. This is our home page. If you've been on the D2L site, you might notice that things look a little bit different. So if you go to assessments and then go to discussions, you'll notice that we have our Unit 1 discussion, some directions there, Unit 2, and again, we'll have more on that in a different screencast. As we're reading through these texts, though, you'll need to create 2 posts and 2 responses. More on that in just a bit. Our grading, we have 45% for our first 2 essays, 25% discussions, your rough drafts, annotated bibliographies, and then 30% for your final essay. With a class like this, it's going to be really easy to fall behind if you don't keep up with the pace of the course. So if you're missing an assignment, please contact me within a due date. Let me know that you have a plan in place to get it taken care of. If we're at the end of a unit, for example, we finish with Unit 1, then we're done with Unit 1. Late assignments will not be accepted past Unit 1. Our academic dishonesty policy basically boils down to, hey, please do not be dishonest. Again, I prefer text or emails. Here's my number and my email address. Moving through the syllabus, screencasts will be filled up as I create them here. Then this is just a page of notes, other resources that you can use. So for example, we will be working with Chicago style. There's a link to samples from, or samples using the textbook in Chicago style, likewise APA style citations. And we'll also talk about creating a strong funnel introduction. That would be an example of that. A really good place for you to start would be to take a look at the academic writing review. That will be a review of concepts from the English 101 course and hopefully courses that or things that you've picked up from your first 2 years of university writing experience. The next two, using credible research in our essays. You see a nice slideshow lecture on sites to avoid and what to use when conducting credible research. And finally, within the section, we have an incomplete list of non-credible sites. With so much misinformation out there, and with research being a critical component of this course, it's important to make sure that you are using credible sources in your research. So take a look through that list. Let me know if you have any questions. This last section takes you through the 3 citation styles. I assume that you're already familiar with MLA style because that's the most common one. We are going to be working primarily. Unit 1 will work with Chicago style. Unit 2 will work with APA style. And then your final essay will work with whichever style is used in your academic discipline. This also shows you the grades. Again, these are all hyperlinked, so you can already click on your Unit 1 essay assignment, your Unit 2 essay assignment. Shows you how things are going to be weighted out. When we do discussions, when you do a post, this will be a simple summary of what you've read. And here's our calendar. So for example, coming up on Thursday, May 3rd, we already have our first discussion post. What that discussion is going to be about will be within the Unit 1 essay assignment. So click on the Unit 1 essay, and that will show you what you need to be posting for your discussion post. So here's Unit 1. Notice that we are doing a rough draft, annotated bibliographies, and then the final draft on that will come in just the first 3 weeks of class. Structure is essentially the same then for Unit 2, and then your final essay takes the last 2 weeks then. Annotated bibliography directions. As we get to that, creating your annotated bibliography within these steps. Again, these are all notes that show you step-by-step process that I expect you to follow, as well as how it's going to be graded. So for annotated bibliographies, for example, we're looking at credibility, analysis, and formatting for that. I do have a very specific set of standards for your rough drafts. It's not just a rough draft, it's not just a completion grade. This would be a rather extensive list of minimum criteria that I would expect you to look at and be able to follow. So for example, things like the introduction, setting the context, a fully developed funnel introduction, a topic that goes beyond the obvious, an essay that has a strong thesis that meets our standards. Our standards are listed there. Topic sentences. Hopefully these things should be pretty basic criteria that you would expect to have in the essay anyway. Things like, for example, your voice dominating the essay, strong organization, transitions between paragraphs, and meeting the length requirements. As we go through the essays, please keep in mind that non-credible sources are not going to count for research credit. And of course, the essays with undocumented research, things that are not cited properly, will earn a 0. I've also created a simple essay checklist for you. So that way you know, here's the essential basics of what we're going to need. I know it says 4 to 6 pages. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and edit that. As we're looking at this, your essays will be 3 to 4 pages in length, not including your cover or works cited or reference page. Again, there's our thesis standards, use of research, works cited and references, and then of course the university course additions. So that is a very quick run through the syllabus. Everything is already created on our D2L site. As you can see, most things are also hyperlinked. If you go to our D2L site, all of your assignments, all of your drop boxes have already been created as well. So you have everything in place that you need to. Hopefully this will just be a matter of going through the steps. Please keep in mind also that as you are working through the semester, you do not have to wait until the due date to complete assignments. You're always welcome to submit things in advance of the due date. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.